Okay, so we're just going to be going over some my GC replays. So I got a 12-0 GC not long ago, and some of you guys want to see my replays, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going over them. And I'm going to start off with the RG one, the RG replay. So this RG deck is I think it's a hard counter. It's kind of challenging to beat. I don't think this guy was like the best RG player to face me, but he still did a pretty good job. So right here, I have to cycle my Ice Wizard in the back, and I just Knight. I'm thinking this is probably E-Giant, so I'm kind of patient. And I'm just going to Tornado his Mother Witch down, just so it doesn't get too much value, and he's not able to put anything behind it. I mean, anything in front of it. And yeah, as soon as I see the Fisherman, I know this is RG, so I just Tesla. So what I try to do is I like keeping my Tesla alive. So right here, I'm just going to perfectly place my skeletons to where the Fisherman doesn't like get a hit. And I make sure I log just to make sure the Fisherman dies. So I would usually go in right here with an Icebow, but I know I wouldn't have like enough elixir to defend this RG push, so I just go defensive Icebow. Since he went Fireball, I just go Knight high up because I know he wouldn't have enough elixir to play like a Fisherman. Even if he does, like, it wouldn't be in time, so yeah. So I basically just let this go because I know it's basically dead, and I have to Skeleton still because I know the Tesla wouldn't target the Fisherman since it's one tile lower. And so far so good. As you guys can see, I'm making sure I get my log cycles in because every bit of chip damage counts in this matchup. Right here, I do something a little funky. I go defensive Expo on his Goblin Cage. And I don't really agree with that RG because I can just go in with the Rocket on it. And I still have that defensive Expo to kind of chip down the RG. And right here, since I basically got the RG down, I can kind of set up in the back. And I do like a weird Tesla because I didn't really have anywhere else to place my Tesla at the time. And right here, it looks really bad, but this looks like a really bad situation, but I have to do an awkward Tesla. And then I have two skeletons right after. And I think the RG only got one shot right there. That's fine. Like, the worst that could have happened right there is we could have lost our tower, so I'm glad that we didn't lose our tower. And since I don't really have my Tesla in cycle just yet, I go defensive Expo like this. You guys will see that I regularly change my defensive Expo positionings. That Knight was kind of a mistake by me, and I kind of separate my Tesla from my Expo so he doesn't get too much fireball value. And right here, I'm just going to Knight in front of my Ice Wizard, keeping it alive. And I think I'm just going to play my Expo in the corner. Yeah, hugging my right-hand tower. Just because, well, I don't really have a reason for it. I just saw his, like, Mega Minion coming down. And I knew it was dangerous to put my Expo there because his Mega Minion would get easy value. And right here, I think I place my Expo in the middle right here. Yeah, in the anti-fireball position. So my goal in this matchup is to kind of stall till basically till the end of the match, getting chip damage in between when I need it. And as you guys can see here, I'll place my Tesla like right close to where my Expo was about to die. I know he's going to want to RG soon. And I know we don't really have our Tesla cycle, so I just Knight high up and then Ice Wizard right away. And I get a good NATO. So this is looking really, really good for me. All I have to do is keep this up and defend. And I'm just going to place another defensive Expo just to be safe. Even if he fireballs that, it wouldn't be a good play since it's basically the end of the match, and I can just hit him with a rocket, and he wouldn't have enough elixir to support his offense. And so far, so good, actually. And yeah, that's how I beat RG. So usually it's a lot harder, especially on ladder. This guy was playing too passive, in my opinion. But yeah, that's generally how you want to be playing the matchup. Okay, let's see. Um. Okay, so this matchup was kind of scary, but we managed to beat it. I would say this matchup is kind of like 50-50, but once it hits double, I should be winning. So I went Icebow opposite lane since he went with an Ice Golem at the back opposite lane, and I catch the Bar Barrel, and we managed to score lock, like a really mini lock right there, which is going to really help us out later on in the match. And right here, I do a cool King Tower activation. You guys probably think it's basic, but I thought it was pretty cool right there. And that's really going to help us out in that match. Like, if you guys can get a King Tower activation, you guys should almost always be looking for it, because King Tower activations really help your defense. Okay, so I managed to actually... So right here, I just defensive Tesla low, one tile lower, just because I don't want him to easily snipe my Tesla and kill it. Because what he wants to do is he wants to go Ram Rider, and I want to have like a Tesla up to take care of it. Okay, so this Ram Rider, I don't know how I felt about it. I just went skeletons on top and low Tesla again. I'm kind of spamming that placement. So another reason why I go low Tesla is because I have my King Tower activated. So whatever troops that go to my Tesla get hit by my, like, all three towers. So it kind of helps out a lot more. Okay, so this is kind of going slow. So I was a little worried right here because I didn't have a Tesla, but I did have the rocket, so that came in clutch. We didn't hit the magic archer, which was kind of unfortunate for us, but we're still fine. I think I go defensive expo right here. Okay, no. Yeah, I do go defensive expo right here. Just because I don't want him to have too much elixir on offense spamming me. I want him to spend like a fireball so he wouldn't have all that elixir to play on offense, like I just said. Okay, I think right here I go in because he went Ram Rider in the back and he doesn't have a bandit in cycle. But unfortunately for us, he just goes in for like an Inferno Dragon, which was pretty good by him. And I know he's going to want to go Magic Archer, so I just place my Tesla high up. And we managed to snipe his bandit right there. So I go in for another lock just because I have my Ice Wizard up, and I think I'm able to support with like a Tesla. And what I usually do against like magic archers, once I don't have the correct cycle, I like to Ice Wizard them and then get the magic archer low enough so I could just log it, and that takes care of it. Because sometimes it's very, very risky to go in for Tesla snipes, because if they're a good player, they can just predict it and you can lose the match. So right here, it's looking pretty good. We have him on the ropes, essentially. I go in for a rocket, and I kind of missed the Inferno. I kind of missed the Lumberjack. And I know he wants to go for a Ram Rider, so I just Ice Wizard and Knight. And I make sure I place them correctly. And I think I go in for another defensive expo. Oh, actually I go in right here. Just because I had like a Knight and Ice Wizard on support. And I'm gonna go in again since I do have a Tesla up and my Ice Wizard's helping out, so he won't be able to properly spell cycle my tower while also defending this Expo. And I know right here all I really need to do is to rock it once and I win. And I know he wants to get Magic Archer damage because that's the only way he can win at this point. But to no avail, he wasn't able to get his Magic Archer connections. And yeah, GG. Okay. So this match was pretty easy. We won almost at the start. So let's see. So I like to punish them for using Zap with skeletons, so I go in with an Expo, and I have like my knight and my skeletons ready. So right there, it looked like a bad play for him to kind of miss our Expo. He did it on purpose, is what I've been told, because Sparky players like to kind of build the big push for my Expo. Like, if he had like a giant in hand, he would have just like went Sparky and then giant in front of the Expo. And he would have also had like his mini P.E.K.K.A on support. So right here, I like to keep my Ice Wizard as much as possible in this matchup because they like to go giant minion horde opposite lane, and you can easily lose the match like that. So that's what I like to. Okay, I can just speed this up since there wasn't much going on in this match. Okay, I just predicted the Sparky right there, just logged. And yeah, you guys kind of get the gist. So pretty easy match right there. I'm going to go to this match. It was kind of tricky. We managed to get like a King Tower activation, but I still find this match kind of tricky. This matchup kind of tricky. So I try not to make the first play if I can. And I just Ice Wizard his Bar Barrel. So he goes in with the Fireball, so I just immediately punish him with an Expo Tesla. I kind of knew he had Graveyard since he showed the Bar Barrel and the Fireball. And this kind of deck has been going around. So right here, I was kind of worried that he would go Graveyard, and he did, unfortunately. So I just went Skeletons, and I kind of waited on my log. And I made sure I got a pretty good value log. And unfortunately for him, he took a night shot from us, which is really going to help out later on, as you guys will see. Let me just kind of skip this. So yeah, I kind of set up with the pre-Tesla right there, and I went defensive Expo. So this defensive Expo was mainly to bait his baby dragon out, so I can try to get a King Tower activation. So my first attempt at a King Tower activation, I kind of fail it. As you guys see there, I kind of just BM to shake it off. Laughing at my own mistakes. And I know he's going to want to go in again, so I'd set up with the pre-Tesla. That was a terrible Expo by me. It was able to get like almost no value. The main purpose of that was to get the King activation. I knew he wasn't going to expect it. But normally if he didn't have the baby dragon, I wouldn't try an Expo like that. So at this point, I'm just kind of trying to survive. So I go in for another defensive Expo where he doesn't have too much damage. And I go for a juicy Rocket NATO right here just to start getting damage as early as possible, since in triple is going to be harder to defend his pushes. So again, I set up with the defensive Expo. And And I baited that. I don't know why he took that fireball value. I didn't think that was good value for him. Just because our Icebow was able to survive a lot longer, helping out against Graveyard. And right here, I go in because I know he's low on elixir, but right here, he was just able to kind of stall out my Icebow to where it got no value. I Ice Wizard in the back, even though he has Fireball, I know he's low on elixir, so he wouldn't want to play it. But he did it anyways, which was kind of weird, so I just rocket his tower, since I do need the damage. And right here, I think I pre-placed my Tesla up high, and I go in with another Icebow, since our King Tower is activated. Okay, no, I actually went and defended, which is a pretty good idea by me. And right here, I went defensive Icebow. Okay. So it looked a little sketchy right there because I knew that this match would get close, but I didn't know it would get that close. And I managed to get that last second rocket, and GG. So yeah, guys, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like the video, and see y'all later. I'll try to make like a ladder video soon.